Leroy was going about his day, and the next, he was being tackled, his face ground into the pavement off between officers and civilians. The chaotic scene is quickly agitated and takes it out on the crowd.
Let's go then! Take that off! 140
Badge off, take that uniform off.
Professional. In addition, the backwards worn baseball
Damn,
hat would be
Chicago!
a standard issued uniform item.
Damn, bitch, remind me to stay the fuck from out of here.
Another important question.
We jumped. What y'all get on? What y'all arrested? What's he arrested for?
No fucking answer.
But you don't know what he arrested for? Be arrested for.
No fucking point.
At the officers as they drove by, widened his eyes, and then walked away.
How is that a reason for y'all to get out, chasing their choking and slamming on the floor? Cause a nigga looked at you wrong while you was driving past? It's fucking crazy.
Popping this shit on him, ho. My career been jumping the bottle, jumping, I'm riding around with an M, ho. I kill your ass, I flash, you ain't gon'
Cop loses it when he gets a dirty look. This shit 16 minutes. Shout out to EWU Body Count.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Lock your dumb. You need more training. I need more training. You need sacrifice. You got a mental problem. He said he's gonna catch a body. Everything recorded. Him right here. He said he gonna catch a body out here. Everything he came up to me with a stick.
On August 23, 2020, police officers on patrol in Chicago made the abrupt decision to detain a young man by the name of Leroy Kennedy. One moment Leroy was going about his day, and the next, he was being tackled, his face ground into the pavement. He was resisting arrest, officers would later inform him. But the original reason they stopped him seemed to mystify everyone, including the officers themselves, who seemed intent on behaving unprofessionally throughout the encounter. Right away, we're situated in the middle of a chaotic scene fueled by an incensed mob. They've just witnessed a violent incident instigated by the police themselves.
Hey, no, chill out. You got we'll roll your. We'll roll your. We just you. Take the. Come on, we'll roll your. You just bust. Okay, you just bust. You playing, bro.
They gonna work his ass. They just flaming this shit though.
Helping you. Helping you. You just this face up like this. Man, you just this face up. That you said what up, bitch. He was trying to fight me. Man, you was trying to fight them. You touching me for no reason, bro. I ain't got shit on you, bro. I ain't take off running, I walked off. I ain't run, I walked off.
Nigga, I ain't run, I walked off.
Stop pushing him, bro. I'm gonna get some medical attention.
You might expect that once Leroy is in the back of the squad car, his defenders will disperse. However, this seems to have the exact opposite effect.
Bro, back up. Back up. I'll be back. Back up.
Take a picture.
The chaotic scene has quickly evolved to what appears to be a standoff between officers and civilians. The chaotic scene has quickly evolved to what appears to be a standoff between officers and civilians. The officer, having put his hands around Leroy's neck and having thrown him to the ground, definitely doesn't appear to have been warranted. While exercising force against a fleeing suspect is allowed, so long as the force is reasonable under the circumstances, Leroy didn't appear to have been a fleeing suspect. He also didn't appear to have been resisting, nor did it seem he had any weapons on his person. There must be specific, articulable facts to support the exercise of force, and here we aren't seeing any.
They ain't even giving him a chance to resist, if you ask me.
Because you did. It is what it is.
They ain't running this shit though.
That's why we don't like y'all. Kill y'all. I hate y'all. What's up, bro? I ain't that bro. I have nothing. Why you take why y'all with me, bro? I walked off, bro. Did you move my hands? Bro, you want to search me, bro? I'll have about the cop. You search me. You can search me hands down, everything. I don't have nothing.
Hamlin in the cuffs. Take control now.
I got you.
Okay, now disregard. Take a disregard. Disregard Hamlin in the cuffs. Augusta and Hamlin. Take a disregard.
What is
It
he
also
going to
doesn't
jail
help that
for?
more
He
police
never
are joining the
said shit.
scene by the minute. It's hard to say who's most upset, Leroy, the crowd, or the police. One of the officers who participated in the arrest appears to be particularly agitated and takes it out on the crowd.
Let's go then. Skinny. Take that off. 140-pound ass. Right. 140 pounds. Hold on with your homies. Talk to me.
Take that badge off. Take that uniform off.
Yeah. He wasn't like that when he was just out here. He was not like that. He was not like that. He said he got his own now. We right here every day. We
He said, we right here every day. Bring your ass back over here when you get off the clock.
Why you getting out tucking it down like that? Sticks and you picking up sticks and no, we're not. That man was not like that. Me and just slammed him on his head. We did, we know. We're not lying about it.
We did, we know.
What the force for? He started fighting around. He choked him through the gate. He's trying to talk to him. You pulled up. That's all we don't need that. Yeah, because he slammed him on He did. I understand. But he was coming up behind him, okay? Trying to pull him away. It's on camera. It's on camera. White dude, bro. What's the issue? Lock your dumb. You need more training. I need more training. You need sanctified. You got a mental problem. He said he gonna catch a body. Everything recorded. Him right here. He said he gonna catch a body out here. Everything he came up to me with a stick. Straight home. You flipped him, bro. Take that. You flipped him, bro. Take that. Yeah, bring that stick.
Love you too.
Look at this face, bro. Catch a body today.
You might think you misheard the officer, but he did in fact say that he was looking to catch a body, and as he continuously points out to the crowd, it's all on video.
You picked up a bag. It's on camera. I did. I will.
Everything has gotten out of hand, and the officer needs to quickly separate Leroy from the scene. Considering the number of members of law enforcement who've responded to the scene, at least 1 to 2 should be making efforts to de-escalate the situation and to calm the civilians. However, what we've seen isn't consistent with this. At this point, it's clear that the officers have lost control of the situation. Irate civilians have surrounded the cruiser, and Leroy should have already been transported away from the scene.
I wasn't. Your ass was inside.
The thing I just got from Walmart.
I'm intimidated. There's something obviously wrong with it, bro.
The situation is now completely out of control. Officers are behaving unprofessionally, which tarnishes the law enforcement badge. While they should never let their emotions be seen, their anger has gotten the best of them. The civilians have a right to challenge authority, and the officers have no right to speak to the civilians the way they are, including the name-calling and threatening to lock them up as you just witnessed. As the police car begins to pull away, the officer continues shouting insults out the window.
Make more than you, bro. Running. Remind me to take this.
Yeah, remove him from the scene.
I got you, okay? I got you. We got you. And nobody gonna treat you badly. I'm gonna get you water and everything, okay?
But based on the police treatment Leroy has experienced so far, though, these promises likely don't mean much. Back where the crowd is gathered, several bystanders attempt to explain how the situation has played out so far. The response they get is lackluster at best, if not outright dismissive.
This in Chicago? Yeah.
Put their hand on him.
He jumped out, he grabbed him. He didn't try to get aggressive with him. He picked him up and slammed him, man. On the guy in the car.
The officer, when
The black
the gentleman
officer
told
picked
him
him up.
to not touch him, the officer got mad and choked him.
Yeah, he
and
choked
then he tried to resist. The officer took him and slammed him on the ground.
He wasn't doing nothing wrong.
Police officer get out of the car?
We have no idea. They
So we
parked
was
right
sitting right
here.
here.
They parked right here. They were sitting down right here. He started walking towards them. The gentleman got up and started walking away. I guess he didn't want no problem. They never found nothing on. He wasn't doing anything wrong. The black
Right, he had no
officer
weapon, no
tried
shit.
to corner him off, ran and chased him and blocked him off. He said, "Man, I ain't did nothing. Don't touch me." The officer grabbed him and started choking him.
I know that's right.
But obviously, I mean, unless
Just snitching ass.
for something.
What that something is remains
But
to be
police
seen.
deserve to get
An
sent
officer
off.
needs to take charge of the situation and give the disgruntled witnesses a voice. They need for someone to listen and to feel they've been heard. They should be given the option to fill out statements and potentially compose formal complaints. Even if the complaints don't move forward, perception is everything.
Oh,
Even
wow.
so much as giving the witnesses business cards as a way to build trust. For now, officers clear the original scene and arrange to meet EMS at a more controlled location. However, not all of the officers go quietly, fanning the flames of unrest before leaving the area.
Oh, we come out thick. That's how we do. I'm just talking to the community, bro. That's it. I still love you, though. I still love you. I love you, Papa.
They need attention. All right, let's go. They just need attention. I don't want to give a attention.
Just a few blocks away, one of the officers waiting for EMTs to assess Leroy finally thinks to ask a rather important question.
We jumped.
What y'all doing? I'm trying to see where y'all arrested.
What's he arrested for?
No fucking answer.
But you don't know what he arrested for? Be arrested for?
No fucking point.
Be arrested for? No, hey.
Listen to him.
Where y'all arrested?
What's he arrested for?
They instantly start fighting.
I guess they thought. Right.
Be arrested for? No, hey. See my face? Do you see my face?
As we saw in the arrest footage, this isn't exactly true. It seems that the police are getting creative. Police chased Leroy down, and it was only after they laid hands on him that he began to flail.
They started grabbing on Razor as soon as we walked up, grabbing his back, grabbing the back of his vest, pulling him away. We didn't even say
This claim may be true. Conflict once again flares between Leroy and the officers while they wait for EMS. Even rookies are taught not to engage with a yelling detainee. While it would go a long way in the court of public opinion and among a jury when footage shows officers not engaging, this particular officer opens the door to the cruiser and confronts Leroy. His act is clearly unprofessional. In addition, the backwards worn baseball hat
Chicago!
would be a standard issued uniform item.
Damn, bitch, remind me to stay the fuck from out of here.
11:10.
Police already saw that Leroy had a phone
Right,
during the
oh, yeah.
arrest, the search, and when they initially placed him in the car.
injuries from takedown? Yeah. I see you. Yeah.
Angelo Gray, 514-891-4. Angelo, I'm gonna sue all you. Angelo Gray, I'm gonna lose y'all job. Angelo Gray, Amazon, Harry, Rain the Rep, yo, Robinson on Long Park. What don't you think I'm home? I'm gonna get all you. Angelo Gray. Watch this.
Soon EMTs arrive to tend to Leroy's injuries. He's escorted out of the police car and into the ambulance while police decide who will accompany him to the hospital. Before getting underway, police take the opportunity to search Leroy again, but nothing incriminating has appeared in his pockets since the last time they checked. With that out of the way, they can finally head to the hospital. In addition to the scrapes on his face, Leroy was treated for injuries to his hands and wrists. There were also concerns about a concussion due to the force with which Leroy's head hit the pavement. While he has recovered physically, he's since come forward to say the encounter left him traumatized.
I don't understand why you still up.
What's up?
Why you still up?
Why am I still what?
Why the you still up?
Why am I still what?
You heard what I said.
It's a good question because you've certainly noticed Leroy still hasn't been told why he's under arrest. While the United States Supreme Court has held that it's good police practice to tell a suspect why they're being arrested when taken into custody, the Supreme Court has found no constitutional requirement to do so. Very few states statutorily require this in the United States. It's an exception far from the norm.
Patel 18129.
Damn sure gonna know. My lawyer come holler at y'all, you damn sure gonna know.
Cool.
Damn sure finna get y'all food.
Alright, that's good.
Like, damn sure finna get y'all food. But tour.
Best of luck to you, buddy.
1829.
Best of luck to you, buddy.
Good luck. Just got 200,000 for the same.
I really hope he won this, because he didn't do shit.
Why you grab me like that? Why you grab me for that? I don't get why he touching me, bro.
When Leroy's arrest came under investigation, it seemed police had very little to say for themselves by way of explanation.
Alright. Alright. We'll put everybody else as offenders that grabbed you. We'll do that on case report. We'll start head on. Yeah, description or whatever. Alright, head on in.
It's clear that the sergeant is aware the situation has been botched. The story officer settled on was that Leroy looked directly at the officers as they drove by, widened his eyes, and then walked away.
How is that a reason for y'all to get out, chasing their choking and slamming him on the floor? Because a nigga looked at you wrong while you was driving past? It's fucking crazy.
It appears that Leroy was violently arrested for the serious crime of looking surprised. The official report went on to mention that police suspected Leroy might have had a gun when he reached for his pocket, but as they later discovered,
there wasn't
all
no
he
gun.
could have been reaching for was his phone or glasses. It seems the real reason Leroy was stopped was simply a case of bullying or misuse of power. Leroy was charged with resisting arrest and aggravated assault against a peace officer. All charges were dropped a few months later, thanks to the body camera footage which proved Leroy was not the instigator. Leroy proceeded to sue the City of Chicago Police Department for personal damages, as well as to ensure this sort of situation doesn't happen again. He was ultimately awarded $195,000. Clearly, the situation should have been handled much differently. While police training has progressed over the years, it must continue to evolve and grow with the times. De-escalation, implicit bias, and wellness of law enforcement officers are a few of the mandatory training programs officers must complete. In addition, they're now educated on reporting misconduct they see other officers committing. While officers like these should be a thing of the past, they still have a long distance ahead.
Because y'all want to take y'all power and run with it.